Thank you, Erin. Very tough to follow her up, but we'll do our best. So we are the EmVision Productions Be Impact Clinic team, and we are very excited to present to you our URC presentation. So first, starting off with some introductions. My name is Jason Plant. I'm the peer mentor for this team, and I'm majoring in entrepreneurship here at UNH.
I'm Jill Locke, student consultant, and I'm a sustainable agriculture and food systems major.
I'm Grace Cannon. I'm a student consultant and a marketing and sustainability dual major.
Hi, I'm Festa. I'm also a student consultant and also a sustainability and marketing dual major.
And we also have Wendy Blackwell-Moore, who's our fantastic business advisor, and we couldn't have done this project without her incredible mentorship, so we want to give her a shout out there.
Okay, so a little bit about EmVision. EmVision is a full-service media agency founded in 2013 by Tariana, who we work very closely with. EmVision is a multicultural, multilingual, very diverse team, and it's also a nationally certified woman-owned business. They specialize in media production, but they also offer some consulting and professional development opportunities as well. And their partners range from grassroots organizations to large corporations.
So what really was this project that we were working on? Well, firstly, as you might have guessed, we're working towards B Corp certification by helping the company complete their BIA and improve their score, which requires 80 or more points to get certification. We also completed an opportunity analysis and prioritization of improvements, especially related to the governance section, as this is a team of, I think, 6 to maturing organizations, so they need a lot of help developing that area. We also collected and in many cases created documentation for the verification process, which is what happens after you submit for certification. And lastly, we created a novel prioritization model that uses new points obtainable and ease of implementation as inputs to create a weighted score that makes it easier for us to prioritize tasks and for us to complete the project in an efficient manner.
So as Jason touched upon, we did our roadmaps to certification in 200 points, but we also did some really cool out-of-the-box deliverables. One of them being an impact report, resources and template deliverable. And what an impact report is, it's basically a way for companies to communicate the accountability they've created over the past year. And they get to display this impact report on their website for their prospective clients, their current clients, business partners to see what they've done over the last year. Another one that we did was a responsible battery disposal. I'm so sorry, guide. And we realized that EmVision is a small media company. There wasn't a lot of points they could receive on the environment section. So now they can say that they know what to do with the batteries they dispose of from their cameras. And this gains them a few points. And then last but not least, we did an employee handbook template, but we also turned it into a presentation. So instead of handing their employees this 100-page document, read through this for the employee handbook, they now have a presentation to give, and it's a more digestible, fun way for the employees to read the document.
So when we started working with EmVision, they only had 47 points on the assessment, and throughout our process, we were able to help them get up to 77.5. And by the time all of our recommendations are implemented, they'll be within the 85 to 90 point range. So as Mo said, one of our challenges was the limited environmental scope, just figuring out how that section applied to EmVision, and also keeping it realistic. This is a really small company, so a lot of the questions in the assessment were hard to figure out EmVision's context and relation to those questions. And some of our successes were that we completed review of all 200 questions and were able to either make recommendations or provide deliverables related to all of them. And we also had great engagement with the team. We were able to actually meet with the whole company and talk to them a little bit about what B Corps are and how going through this process would impact their work.
So we wanted to cover our key takeaways from this experience before we close out. So for myself, I learned how a stakeholder-focused company makes multi-stakeholder decisions, because once you adopt this philosophy, you're really trying to take into account the different wants and needs of many different stakeholders who are all important, but have very different motivations and motives.
Going through this with EmVision was really insightful for me. We waded through a lot of questions and helped them form policies and procedures that are directly impactful to my job post-grad. So.
Personally, working with EmVision, I learned that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to becoming B Corp certified. It really just depends per company, kind of about what type of company they are, the amount of resources they have, the employee base, and they're all able to kind of find their way through, driven by these key principles.
So I learned how much legal work and documentation goes into certification, especially for a small company who may not have the documents that a bigger company is required to have. And it was just really an eye-opening project to be a part of.
So we'd like to thank you all, and we're going to pass it over to the Loco team.